When you hear about the word harem, what comes to mind? A sultan's pleasure palace. It's like scandals in the whole empire. Women envying other women, and slave girls brought in to be part of sultan's pleasure place. But it's totally a wrong idea. I've been hearing this like here and there. Oh, there's a harem. It's like that guy has a harem, and then that question struck. What is it then? Is it like the way that the man or the empire or the religion was seeing the woman as a second grade or degraded, or just a woman who will be the pleasure giver, or what else? And it's very interesting. It's not a brothel, but it's actually a corporate headquarters where incredibly strong women who actually helped to run the empire, like the mother of Sultan. Sultan is the Padishah, the head of, yeah, Sultan. Um, there were or the queen, let's say, they're accepting the foreign embassies and foreign rulers or ministers, and it's a courtesy place where also on the other side women get educated with science, maths, music, and handcrafts. They learn about the oils and herbs. They also had this incredible hierarchy. So Sultan did have more than one wife, and whenever he had a son, that the the, the mother of the son had became or just had a different category, because she might be in the future the mother queen. Hmm? It was also a kind of a career ladder for slave women. So there's a different slavery. There was a slavery in Ottoman Empire, I suppose, but it was a different slavery. Um, it was kind of like, yes, the maids who didn't have another place to go, who were not allowed to leave, but they were treated as a part of the family. They were given the same things as part of the family, and they have a and it was possible to reach to higher ranks, even become very important circular female member that's close to Sultan. Because especially in the courthouse, in palace, um, these these female slaves will be chosen. I just from the most beautiful ones and the most clever ones, and it's good fit for Sultan. Mhm. So most women weren't kidnapped, they were required. So often as a non-Muslim woman from the Balkans or Caucasus, and they were called Cariyes. It's like interns. They weren't the concubines. So their life was one of these intense training. And this is like the where the slaves called like the Jariyas. They were converted to Islam, because just think it in this way, like okay, um, bringing these women around across the whole empire is also bringing the other cultures. So Ottoman Empire was a combination of many cultures, many other countries. If like for now, if you just think it in that way, so the North Africa or continents. So each this continent came with their own cultures, and just bringing all these women from skirts of the empire also provided a rich cultural information and knowledge center. And in harem, this information and knowledge was shared. If you were talented as a jariye, as one of the slave women, you would be able to, and beautiful and clever and understood the macro and micro system of uh, ruling. You can go up to the level of sultan and become his rose, or you can become the head of the harem or the management of the harem. So there's one side. The other side is let's have a look. There were paid jobs in harem, and Havalide Sultan, who was the mother of the Ottoman Empire, gave all of them, some salaries. That she also built lots of mosques and schools and wielded a wealth to build a political base. Harem was a political base where she accepted foreign ministers and embassies. Embassies. Okay. I just want to read some. Let's have a look. There's also like these African slaves who've been castrated. They were kind of the protectors of this woman. They were huge men. They were so big, well built, but kind and gentle. But they knew martial arts as well as whatever they had. And they protected. They had a very interesting role of. I just gone blank. I'm sorry. I'm just like watching outside. The apple tree is gorgeous. They weren't enslaved by themselves, I suppose. They just landed there. I don't know how they been inquired. Did they inquire? They were also like a castration is not something that will do in according to Islam. So when these slaves came, they were already castrated, and they had incredible political power. They just had power because they blocked or they protected the gate, and you couldn't pass them. You wouldn't be able to go to harem. It doesn't matter who you were. So they had that kind of power. They were on salary. They had their own places. They had their own lives. And I guess like there's some books that talks about this love relationship between uh, these the castrated man, and the woman in harem. Generally, sometimes these women were just like traded with. They were kind of. They came back as a trade, political trades. It's like why did politicians of other countries, European countries, marry with other countries? Like, here's my cousin, take my cousin. Why don't I take your cousin? This is my fifth generation chain cousin from my da 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 da. If you do that, we'll have some kind of a relationship in between our families. That's sort of like that. Instead of doing all these cousin swaps, they just took, okay, you have a cousin, I'll take it. And like, how many generations away from you? Six. All right, she can come into my harem and I'll educate and I'll dress her, and I'll give her this gorgeous place to live with another 100 women probably, but they all have a different role. I mean, it's in a way, it doesn't sound too bad, isn't it? Just like a reading, writing, painting, reciting poetry, getting being educated about politics. But I suppose it's at some point it just turned that the mystical or idea of this women behind some things, and I don't know why it's like that. Anyway, I have to go now.